So some of the issues around why I focus on timing and and that component of flow when we talk about root cause analysis comes down to what granularity do you actually have to zoom into these conversations. So because of how verbose flow data is, most platforms will actually take your 1 minute or whatever your active cache timeout is in granularity for flow records and then aggregate those up into higher intervals, effectively kind of undoing the benefit of that low level granularity. It's really more of a storage problem in most cases where a very high level of very verbose records can be difficult to manage and sort through and report on. But that's really where we focus our effort in making the flow data usable for people. We've long been kind of like the nerdy network engineering tool where we do our best to kind of stay out of the way of the data and make sure it's presented to you as it was exported by the devices. So there's really no sense of aggregation where we take, 5 individual minutes, turn into a 5 minute interval, delete those 1 minute intervals off, and then just keep this aggregate. It can quickly cause problems where if you think, again, the TCP flag example, in one frame, you only see SYN and ACK flags. Another frame only SYN and ACK flags. In the third frame, we actually see a reset from something, whether it was the application side or network infrastructure, just trying to kind of shuffle connections around through red. Another minute at the fourth minute of just regular SYN ACK, and then ultimately a reset at the end that could have been application driven, right? So when you take something like this and aggregate it into a 5 minute data point, you would really just see kind of a SYN, ACK, and reset with no real sense that there were two events there that caused resets or really what the timing was around those other than this kind of blocky 5 minute view. So what we do is we take an approach where we still receive all the 1 minute data. We do make 5 minute aggregates for workflows that do benefit from just a faster reporting experience. Things like top talkers, every time you aggregate things down, the things up at the top aren't really affected. It's more the small conversations that will be impacted. From a security standpoint, that can be a nightmare because it's less likely your top talking application that everyone's using is the problem. It's more likely the very small SSH or telnet session is actually what you want to be aware of, which could just get completely obliterated by that aggregation process. In our case, what we do is we actually store off all of the 1M as it's received, the atomic records exactly as they came off the flow cache from your exporting devices, as well as create aggregates kinds of workflows. So we'll see in the tool where this benefits us, where we can start at very wide time frames, kind of find the instances where maybe bandwidth utilization is spiking, and then ultimately drill into those spikes and then go back into the 1 minute visibility so we can have clear views as to exactly what the traffic was comprised of.